Alrighty, fellas, we have had way too much coffee today and we're ready to get into this video. So today, it's another one kind of just off the cuff, unscripted. I mean, I have some rough ideas of what I want to talk about, but basically, I want to tell you how I got an internship at Microsoft, and maybe that can translate to helping you get an internship at some big tech company. Maybe you want to work at Amazon, Apple, Google, Microsoft, Facebook, I don't know, but hopefully this can help some of you guys out there. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alrighty, so this might go without say, but the first step obviously is you need to start getting some programming experience. Now, the best way to do this is enroll in some type of program, in my opinion. Probably a university computer science program. That's the route that I took. I do know people who have done boot camp classes on like Udemy and some other websites. I'll put links for those down below. Some good resources that I know of. But typically, a computer science education is a great way to do so. And this is because it gives you a comprehensive education. You know, it teaches you the full stack of development you're going to need to know for a job, and then an employer can point to either the certificate from a boot camp you did or your degree that you have to basically certify that you have the experience you say you do. And along with that, it'll help you put some good projects on your resume and overall just help you land that first job that you're looking to get, that first internship, right? So that brings me to my next point, and I'm going to be looking at my resume here while I talk to you guys about this. But now that you have some experience down, you need to put that on paper, on a resume, bolster that baby up, and just use this in order to apply to those internships that you're trying to get. So, taking a look at mine, at the top here, it's the typical resume that you'd find for usually, I think the better applicants will have a well-formatted resume such as this. I used to have a pretty crappy resume that was kind of just like Mod Podge. I tried to put some cool graphics on it, but just honestly, I think short and to the point is great. So at the top here, you'll see my Microsoft experience. So this is actually my resume post working at Microsoft as an intern. So you'll see that up here. But then I have a Myers research group. So this is a research position I held at the University of Utah that I'm actually getting published in a paper for next week, which is super cool. Kind of happened a little bit late after I graduated, but still cool that that's getting put out there. And this brings me to a good point, is that it's pretty hard to get that first bit of experience. I know I had a really hard time getting my first internship. So what I would recommend is, in order to get some type of professional working experience in computer science or programming in general, the best way, if you're a student at a university, is to probably take some sort of research position or even be a TA for a class. I know that that's a really great way to do it. So that's something that I did. I actually did that after my first internship. And that's another point, is the first internship you get probably isn't going to be a big tech company. Maybe it is. There's no harm in applying. I would definitely urge you to apply to all the big companies you want to get an internship at, regardless of your experience level. You know, there's always a chance that you do get the internship. But I found that after getting a local internship at a lesser known company, it was easier to get that internship, and then that helped me bolster my resume to then apply to a big tech company such as Microsoft. So you'll see there that I kind of list my experience and what I did at each one of those internships. Something that I would change a little bit about this is maybe less description of the projects I was working on and maybe more description of the skills that I learned during those projects. So trying to just incorporate more of that technical jargon in there that those technical recruiters are going to be looking for within your resume, right? And then so right below that, I have my projects as well. You can see I have my Alfred Senior Design project. This was super cool. It was an iOS application. Basically, it synced with your work, personal, and school calendars to kind of make it all into one cohesive place, and it would kind of suggest a good plan for you every day. It kind of worked. We took first place, which is super cool, in my senior graduating class, so that was fun. But put that on there. That was a really good experience. Espel Sketchpad. So this is a genetic engineering iOS tool. It's the precursor to the paper I'm actually getting published for in that lab. Super cool. If you guys want to hear more about that, my lab experience, definitely happy to do a video on that. And then this is my intern project at Microsoft. So, moral of the story, definitely put some projects on there. You don't even have to do them through school or work. It could even just be personal projects. Those are really great. I know Google, for example, is one company that will scrape GitHub repositories for people who have pretty cool projects and will actually offer them an interview without even applying, if you just have a lot of cool stuff on your GitHub. So definitely make sure, that's another tip, make sure your GitHub is well populated. I think that's really important. I wasn't the best about that, but I know a lot of kids, at least that I went to school with, who got jobs based off of just a really good GitHub profile. And then at the bottom, I have my standard stuff like my GPA, school I'm going to, what degree I'm getting, how long I'm going to be there. I was in the Honor Society. I was an engineering ambassador, which was actually my first pretty cool experience. Helping kids build little robots. So that was really fun. I was a freshman, so I didn't know much about engineering when I started, but it's still really cool. And then there's the skills down below that as well. So just kind of the keywords that you want on your resume. Again, for those technical recruiters to really quickly breeze through your resume and just pull that out of there to know that you're qualified for the job. All right, so this video is getting a little long here, so I'm gonna kind of get straight to the point. This is probably the most important piece of information in the video I'm going to give you, is actually preparing for these interviews once you start sending this application out. So mass send your application or your resume out, to as many places that you'd like to get a job at as possible. And then you need to start doing interview preparations. And this is going to be the key to getting a job, guys. So the way that I went about doing interview preparation and the way that most people go about it is usually going to the website called LeetCode. You can also use the book Cracking the Code. I'll kind of show a picture of that book up here, and then also put a link for LeetCode down below. But basically, this website has interview problems that people will actually use in interviews. I've gotten so many exact clone problems that I've practiced on LeetCode while in an actual interview. So this is basically just going to prepare you for the exact questions that you're going to be asked in interviews. So really important that you do this. For an internship, you don't need to do quite as much preparation as it is full-time, because the questions are generally a little bit easier. So I would suggest maybe doing 20 to 30, maybe 40 problems. You're definitely welcome to do more. But that's probably a good amount to do before actually going into some big tech company interviews. I know that I didn't actually do that much, and I was pretty lucky to pass my interviews because I didn't have a lot of preparation. But definitely make sure you do a lot of LeetCode. And after that, the rest is history, guys. Hopefully you can secure that job, get that internship. My Microsoft internship experience was probably one of the most amazing experiences of my life. It was a summer filled with meeting great friends who not only were just really good, fun people to be around, but also all the people that I met were driven and looking to get to the same place that I was, which I think is really important, to surround yourself with people like that, smart people who have the same driven goals as you. So that was a really cool experience, along with, getting to live in Seattle for summer. That was amazing, and be surrounded by all the full-time engineers and just absorb as much as I could from them. And now I'm here with a full-time job, still working for Microsoft. So I guess you could say things worked out pretty well. But yeah, I don't want to keep this video too long. I hope you guys were able to pull some useful knowledge from that. I know that there's a lot I could go over, so I tried to keep it to the 3 main points that I think are really important in terms of getting a job at a big tech company. So if there's anything that I breezed over that maybe you want to ask more questions about, or something that I didn't talk about at all, definitely feel free to ask that question down in the comments below. I will probably respond to every single comment. So yeah, definitely comment. If you liked this video, please give it a like. It really helps me out. Every like on these videos at this point is just awesome. I see everyone, I'm like, wow, cool, we got to 10 today. So please give it a like. If you want more content like this, please feel free to subscribe. I know I promised a house tour video in the last video that I made. That's still coming. My house is pretty much all together now, so just a matter of actually filming that house tour video. So that is to be expected. And as well, if you like to watch my live streams, if you already do watch my live streams, thank you. But if you want to just chill out, listen to some lo-fi beats in the morning, and kind of work around with me and see what I do during my day, feel free to check that out. But yeah, without further ado, guys, I really appreciate you watching this, and have a good rest of your day. Till the next one, guys, I'm out.